Hi, today's video is brought to you by McCafe, McDonald's new coffee. It really isn't, but I do love my McDonald's coffee, so that's what I'm starting out my day with. Okay, sorry for that, but I do think since they've upgraded their coffee, it's the best coffee around. So what's today's topic? A few different things. As you can see, I'm wearing my Toronto Maple Leafs jersey. The previous 5 videos, I changed my shirt 5 times and recorded them all in one day. I don't really plan on doing that this time. So if you see me wearing the same shirt over and over again, it's not because I never changed my shirts. It's just because I recorded numerous videos in one day. So something we're going to talk about, a couple things. First, we're going to talk about, since my video yesterday on wpvanityemail.com, Ian Clark has been contacted by at least one other blog or company that I know of to do his own videos. So congratulations to Ian Clark and his company Garden Media. So today what we're going to talk about is something totally different. But first I want to tell you that if you guys have ideas for topics that you want me to discuss, or if you have comments or anything else, please feel free to respond to this email or to this post, or email me at adam@dcg.com, and if I'm capable of speaking about the topic, I will gladly do so. The other thing I'd like to see you send me in is things that you're unhappy about with current marketplaces and what you think they could do to fix them and make them more domainer friendly, because ideally we want these things to be domainer friendly, and there's quite a few issues that I've found that I'll bring up in future videos that they could do to help domainers and help us and help bring eyeballs. And I don't mean domainer eyeballs because, well, we'll get into the domain marketplaces later, but the bottom line is bringing domainer eyeballs to a marketplace isn't going to get you end user sales. So I have a solution for that that I'll present in another video. I don't know when, but somewhere down the road. Today's topic is Escrow.com. Escrow.com has stood the test of time. They've been around for a very long time. They're a professional company, and I tend to run all of my transactions through Escrow.com. Never had an issue, never had any issues with payments, never had any issues with customers, never had any issues with anything. So what do they offer? They offer the domainer seamlessly the ability to basically sell your domain, know that it's being held until they receive the money, so you won't get screwed on a domain transaction and won't be out a lot of money because you may have pushed the domain to a guy directly and now he's disappeared or he's never paid you. I mean, obviously that's just one scenario. There's all kinds of others. But what most people don't know is that Escrow.com offers a couple of new services. One is they allow you to act as a broker, and when you start the transaction, instead of putting yourself as the buyer or seller, you put yourself in as the broker, and then you put in your brokerage fees. So if I sold a domain for $5,000 and my fee is $500, I put it in right at the beginning, and then when they do that closing statement that they send you when it's all done, you get paid directly from Escrow.com, your buyer gets paid, and your seller gets paid, and you don't have to worry about collecting your broker commission from the seller. So that's a very valuable feature. But even more so than that is a feature called, I don't know what they call it, but it's selling your domains over time. Almost like you allow somebody a year or 2 years, 3 years to pay you for a domain name. So basically it's just between the buyer and the seller, but I have a transaction currently using the system. I believe the maximum time frame they allow you to set up the payment processing is 5 years and 11 months. I have one at 3 years, and it was a $60,000 or $55,000 transaction. I get paid every month on time by Escrow.com. It's running very smoothly, and I urge you to look into this service because it's a very valuable service. It allows you to lease your domains or sell them to people that normally wouldn't have money to pay up front, and now you can sell them to them. And this gentleman paid me $55,000 over 3 years. Well, for me that's good because I just moved into a new house, and I figured, let's see, $55,000 over 3 years, that's pretty good because I put a small mortgage on the house that I'm living in now, and that covers the mortgage payment. So I thought, okay, it's a good deal. I get rid of a domain name that he could probably do better with. It was an adult name, and I don't tend to specialize in adult names. I don't really have any adult domain names left except maybe, well, mistress.com. and assholes.com, but assholes.com is a complaint forum for people that have screwed you over or done chargebacks or things like that. So they don't like seeing the word assholes up beside their name after it Googles them, so they tend to resolve those complaints rather quickly. So check out assholes.com, and if somebody's done a chargeback or screwed you over, make sure that you go ahead and post something about them, and then their name will come up first with assholes.com beside them. Anyway, let's get back to Escrow.com. So yeah, I used them for an adult domain name. I've never had any issues with them. I think they're a very strong company. They've stood the test of time where most companies have come and gone. And when should you use them? Well, when you should use Escrow.com is, first of all, never be insulted if you sell a domain name and somebody asks you to use Escrow.com. The only people that, I mean, I'm pretty prominent in the domain community. But I don't get insulted ever if somebody wants to go through escrow.com. It's fine by me. It secures both of us. So the only people that are paranoid about using escrow.com are usually the people that you don't want to do business with in the first place, because they probably plan on screwing you over. So again, when should you use them? Whenever you can, or whenever you're dealing with somebody that you haven't dealt with before, you don't have a long-term relationship with, and you don't have somebody you can trust. But I get regularly asked by end users and by seasoned domainers who know me that say, can we use escrow.com? And I always say, sure, because I don't care. But if they want to use escrow.com, there's no reason, if you know them very well and you trust them, but they still want to use escrow.com, there's no reason that you shouldn't have them pay 100% of the fees. The gentlemanly thing to do is to split the fees 50-50. But in a lot of cases, I've said, I'll use escrow.com if that's what you want me to use, but you're going to pay all the fees. And they tend to agree with it because they want the domain name. And the fees aren't that outrageous usually. Escrow.com is priced pretty fair for domainer transactions. So that's who pays the escrow fees. When not to use escrow? Like I said, the only time not to use them is if I'm dealing with somebody that I've known for 10 or 15 years in the industry. I trust them a lot, and I'll use escrow.com. Again, for larger transactions of over $100,000 or $200,000, you also have the option to use a lawyer that you trust and have him escrow the deal for you. But for transactions of $50,000 to $100,000, I would tend to use escrow.com all the time because I think they're very good at what they do. So that takes care of escrow.com. And like I said, if somebody's afraid to use escrow.com, they probably have a good reason to be afraid of using escrow.com. So I would tend to steer away from those people. So in my videos, I always like to say who you should get to know. Well, in this case, we're going to get to know Andy Hill from escrow.com. I had the pleasure of meeting her at the last traffic show. She's a wonderful person. She understands the business of escrow.com inside out. She's been there a very long time. She's cute and she's funny and she's really smart. So if you have any questions for Andy Hill at escrow.com, her email address is ahill, that's ahill at escrow.com. Please feel free to reach out to her. I'm going to turn that off because, well, these are live and sometimes you get phone calls. Anyway, so again, you want to reach out to ahill at escrow.com if you have any questions about it. But I would strongly urge you, if you're uncomfortable or you don't know the person you're dealing with, always use escrow.com for your sales. You will not be disappointed. And it really doesn't take that long to get paid. It takes a couple extra days. Set the period of inspection to 1 day because it's a domain name, and that will end that. And then sometimes if the buyer doesn't go in and approve the transaction, you can have escrow look into it for you, and they will immediately check the who is and see that it's in the buyer's name, and then they'll approve the sale, close the sale, and send you the final notification. And then I think less than a day or two later, you should receive payment. I'm based in Canada. It only takes me about 2 days after that final closing to get payment. So fast, effective, reliable service from a company that's been around for a long time and stood the test of time. So get to know Andy Hill and use escrow.com. I use them for everything that I do use escrow for, and you won't be sorry. But thanks a lot, and you're going to see some more videos later on with me in the same shirt because I have a lot of cool stuff that we're going to get into, and we're going to start to hit some more meat of the domaining The videos are going to get a little bit longer, but there's going to be a lot more information in them. So have a great day. I'm going to continue with my McDonald's coffee, and it's going to keep me awake. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.